Hi there, welcome to the 365 Challenge, 365 guitar lessons in 365 days. In the last couple of videos I was talking about memorising the natural notes on the E string and the A string. Now you've got to know where your sharps and flats are as well. So let's assume you've completely memorised the natural notes on the E string and the A string, and you can find them without any sort of hesitation, without having to count up from the bottom or count down from the 12th fret. You just know where they are. Basically, the sharps and flats, the way that works is take the 2nd fret of the 6th string, for example. That note doesn't really have its own name. It's between F and G. And it can be referred to as F sharp, which means it's one higher or one sharper than F. And it can be referred to as G flat, which means it's one flatter or one lower than G. So that note ends up having two names, F sharp and G flat. You might wonder why that is. When you start to realise what notes are in what keys, you'll discover that in certain circumstances you would call that an F sharp, and in other circumstances you would call it a G flat. For example, if I was playing the G minor scale, if I start with G, then A, then this note. Now, what is that note? It's on the 6th fret of the 6th string. You could call it A sharp, or you could call it B flat. But what decides what you should call it right now in the key of G minor is the fact that you've already used an A note. So G, then A. You can't have an A and an A sharp, so you would call that B flat. You always use all 7 letters from the beginning of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You use each of them, and you only use them once each. So, G, A, that has to be called B flat. C, D, and this one has to be called E flat, not D sharp. And then F, and back to G again. So, each of these 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, were used. None of them were used twice. The other little thing you'll find is that in one key you will either have sharps or flats, but you won't have both. So G minor, as an example, had 2 flats there. I'll quickly do A major as an example as well. So A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and back to A. Again, all 7 letters get used, none of them get used twice, and there's only sharps and not flats in that particular key. So now you've memorised where the natural notes are on the E and the A string, it's easy to find where the sharps and flats are, bearing in mind that sharp always means 1 fret higher than, and flat always means 1 fret lower than. So if I asked you to find a B flat, you've already memorised where B is, 7th fret of the 6th string, so you flatten it, you go down 1 fret, and that's B flat. If I wanted you to find C sharp, you already know where C is, it's on the 8th fret, sharpen it by going up 1 fret, that's C sharp. So that's how to find your sharps and flats. Now, if you practice that just a little bit, you should be able to find all 12 notes, that's 7 natural notes and 5 sharps and flats. You should be able to find them quickly and easily anywhere on the E string and on the A string. In the next lesson, I'll start to show you the octave patterns that will help you to figure out where all the other notes are on the rest of the guitar. See you then.